I would do so while corning, or I would walk around the town with only a small notepad in my pocket. I put in it my research notes. It's helpful to review problems before entering into problem crunching mode, and then let my mind wander around them for an hour or two at a time on nature walks, while listening to music or on airplanes. I slowly untangled my notes over the course of several weeks, shaping them into something that resembled a book. Problem crunching mode gives your mind the space and the freedom to make these large leaps in your thinking. Try entering this mode if you haven't been able to solve a specific non-linear problem in the traditional way. I usually enter problem crunching mode for 30 to 60 minutes at a time. I get restless if it is any longer. Test it and see what works for you. Habitual scatter focus is the most popular style of this mode, and it's the one I recommend practice the most often. I'm covering it less in case you are tempted to gloss over the others, which are fruitful, but in different ways. As with the other modes, habitual scatter focus is fairly easy. You simply do something habitual that doesn't consume your complete attention. This gives your mind the space to wander and connect ideas. Doing this is beneficial for countless reasons. For scatter focus mode is actually fun when you are engaged in a habitual activity you find pleasurable. When you do something habitual that you enjoy, like walking to get a coffee, woodworking, or swimming laps, scatter focus becomes significantly more enjoyable. The happier you are in a scatter focus mode, the more benefit you will reap. An elevated mode actually expands the size of your attention space, which leads you to think more expansively. Your attention space is just as essential in scatter focus mode as it is in hyperfocus mode. It's the scratchy patch your brain uses to connect ideas. The positive mode also allows your mind to wander more productively as you are dwelling less on a negative past. You also think about the future more frequently. When doing something pleasing, your brain's perspective bias grows even stronger. In addition, since doing a simple, pleasurable activity takes so little effort and self-regulation, you can recharge at the same time you scatter your attention. As well as being more fun, habitual tasks have been shown to yield the greater number of creative insights when compared with the switching to another demanding task, resting, or taking no break whatsoever. It's also easier to stay aware of your thoughts when doing something habitual, as there is a greater attention space available to your attention, of being more aware of your thoughts. Again, this awareness is key. A creative thought is useless if it goes unnoticed. Habitual tasks can also encourage your mind to continue wandering. When you let your mind rest and wander, chances are you want to continue these scatter focus exercises until you finished whatever you started. A habitual task acts as a sort of anchor that guides your mind until you've completed the work. This enables you to keep going for longer. To practice habitual scatter focus, pick something simple that you enjoy doing. Then carry out that one task and nothing else until your mind wanders. The simpler the task, the better. going for a walk, we unearth great insights and connect to more ideas than listening to music or reading a book. Good ideas will rise to the surface of your mind so long as you have attention to spare. If you notice your mind has wandered to the past or to another unproductive place, allow it to wander. In habitual mode, you pretty much let your mind roam free. There is a beautiful simplicity in doing one easy thing at a time, like drinking a cup of coffee, walking to work, or doing the laundry. Scale focus becomes more important in the moments between tasks. A primary reason many of us feel burned out is that we never give our attention a rest. Try this today. Don't bring your phone with you next time you walk to get a coffee or eat your lunch. Instead, let your mind wander. The effect of this simple decision alone is noticeable. If you don't check your phone each time a dinner date and gets up from a table to go to the restroom, the meal will become more meaningful and memorable. By giving your attention a break, you will have the attention space to reflect on the conversation you've been having and what the other person means to you. At the risk of repeating this too often, the key to practicing habitual scale focus is to frequently check what thoughts and ideas are in your attention space. This is especially important with the habitual scale focus, since the more things you are vying for your attention simultaneously, the game frees your mind to wander and think positively. I come up with a remarkable number of ideas in the process, but I absolutely have to remember to continue to check what's occupying my attention space, since the game is such a novel and pleasurable object of attention. Without this regular check-in, the exercise is largely a waste of the time and attention. As with the other two styles of scale focus, make sure you have Notepad nearby. When you enter habitual scale focus, you will need it. If you haven't already, schedule time to experiment with these scale focus modes. Each one of us has such a unique relationship to mind wandering, and the mind wandering can serve every one of us differently. We all need to figure out how it helps us in our own life so we can take even more advantage of it. The beautiful thing is that it is a private experience that you can watch and introspect on yourself. There are numerous ways to guide your mind to wander even more productivity when practicing intentional scale focus. Hyperfocus is about focusing on one thing. Scale focus is about focusing on nothing in particular. With the hyperfocus, you direct your attention outward. With the scale focus, you direct your attention inward. One is about attention, the other is about inattention. On a neurological level, the two mental modes are even intercorrelated. When the brain network and that supports scale focus is activated, activation in your hyperfocus network plummets, and vice versa. On that side, the two modes of your brain reinforce each other, especially as you enter into as mode with intention. This makes it important to deliberately practice both modes. Practicing hyperfocus and deliberately managing your attention provides a host of benefits, expanding your attention space so you can focus on more tasks simultaneously, improving your memory, and letting you become more aware of thoughts flying around the head. As it turns out, all three of these are beneficial in scale focus mode. The more often you do this check, the more productivity your mind-wandering episodes will be. You will be better able to move your thoughts away from the past and instead think about the current ideas and the future. As with expanding the size of your attention space, practice meta-awareness has been shown to make a scatter focus mode significantly more positive and constructive. But the disadvantage is that distracting devices have basically eliminated boredom from our lives. Okay, isn't it? Step back. I don't think I read. Collecting dots. Because I didn't with this. I couldn't find any. Oh, I'm sorry. Highlight in my book. So I don't know. We think I bought them. Okay. Hyperfocus brings a hidden creative mode. Creative mode? Okay, just recharging your attention. Rest is not idleness and to lie. Sometimes on the grass under the trees on a summer's day, listening to murmur of water or watching the clouds float across the blue sky. Wow, clouds float. Clouds float across the blue sky is by no means a waste of time. Clouds float. Watching the clouds float across the blue sky. When you should recharge, as soon as you enable you to set attentions more often and improving your creativity, scatter focus helps you recharge. Our energy levels influence how well we are able to focus. You probably felt the effects of this the last time you missed a few hours of sleep or skipped your work breaks. Odds are that all three measures of the quality of your attention decreased. You couldn't focus for as long. You were distracted and sidetracked by other tasks or interested in more frequently, and you found yourself working on autopilot more often. The lesson of this chapter is simple. The more often we scatter focus to replenish our mental energy, the more energy we have for our most important tasks. As our mental energy steadily depletes throughout the day, so too does our ability to focus. Recharging is critical and the worst in the time investment. Research shows that attention space expands and contracts in a proportion to how much mental energy we have. Getting enough sleep, for example, can increase the size of attention space. Getting enough sleep can increase the size of attention space by as much as 58%, and the take frequent breaks can have the same effect. This affects productivity when attention space is approximately 60% larger. Productivity can grow by just as much, especially when we are working on a demanding task. The better rested we are, the more productive we have. Hyperfocus can be pretty tiring. It requires that we regulate our behavior, which is steadily trains and pull up a limited energy. Eventually, our energy wanes, and the focusing on a task at hand becomes more difficult. Our attention span contracts, and we need to recharge. There are many signs that indicate you are running low on energy and should recharge your attention by deliberately entering scatter focus mode, switching up to among tasks, and being able to sustain focus on one thing, losing your grip on your intentions and working in more reactive way, getting tasks done at a noticeably slow rate, For example, reading the same important email several times didn't comprehend it. Opting to do less important, more mindless work, like checking email, social media, etc. Unintentional sleeping into scared focus mode, taking more recharging breaks. Many people burn through an inordinate amount of time doing work that doesn't make them happy. Doing work you love is significantly less exhausting than doing work you don't care about. Focus always feel more force for the latter. The more you care, the more mileage you will get out of your attention. Research also suggests that your mind wanders when you're doing something you genuinely enjoy. Enjoyment. In addition to scattered focus and other benefits, practicing it provides a pocket of time in which you don't have to regulate your behavior, which is energy restorative. Practicing scattered focus, even if just in 4, 5, 10 minutes, lets your brain rest, which helps replenish your limited pool of mental energy. Research has shown that a refreshing work break should have the 3 characteristics. It should be low effort and habitual, something you actually want to do, and something that isn't a chore unless you genuinely enjoy doing the chore. In short, your practice should involve something that's pleasurably effortless. Fun, leisurely work, practicing provides the same remarkable benefits of the habitual scattered focus mode. Your mind will wander too. Future has created the attentional space for more ideas and insights. 4 breaks also energize you for when you do resume working. Work breaks are generally as refreshing as they should be, as we immediately become too busy checking social media and the news and distracting ourselves in other ways without stepping back to actually let our minds rest. This breaks an effective code name for the activities unrelated to our work. And because it still requires our attention, they never truly have a chance to recharge. Instead of thinking clearly and deliberately when we resume working, we can master the energy we need to work on autopilot mode, checking if new emails came in and doing unnecessary and distracting work. There are countless reflection and enjoyable break activities, such of which will let you experience the immense benefits of a habitual scattered focus, while not taking away from your ability to hyper-focus once the break ends. Pick an activity you love, something you can do once and twice a day where you work. Set attention to do the activity tomorrow. This could involve walking around the office, taking advantage of gym nearby, or spending time with coworkers who recharge you. These activities are a great way to give your mind a genuine break, resisting the urge to mindlessly distract yourself during this pocket of time. During my own work breaks, I step back every hour or so to let my mind recharge. I love walking to and from the local coffee shop without my phone, working out at the gym, catching up with colleagues or two, and listening to a podcast. Here are 2 other break activities that have worked for me and the people I've coached. Going on a nature walk, running outside, or visiting the gym at work, if your company has one, or outside. Meditating, especially if your office has a relaxation room. Reading something fun and not work related. Listening to music, a podcast, or an audiobook. Spending time with the coworkers or friends. Investing time in a creative hobby like in a painting, woodworking, or photography. When you choose the break activity you love, you can still experience the benefits of a habitual schedule focus while you rest and recharge. Timing. So when and how often should you step back from your work? Because no two people are the same. The frequency and length of breaks depends on countless factors. Or just as you had to try various alternatives to create a personalized distraction-free mode, experiment to learn what provides you with the most energy. For example, you may need to take breaks more often if you're an introvert whose work involves a great deal of social interaction with a large group of people. If you are an introvert who works in an open office, you may need to step back more frequently throughout the day as well. Frequent recharging may also be necessary if you find you aren't motivated by a particular project or by your work in general. The more you need to regulate your behavior to resist distractions and temptations or push yourself to get things done, the more often you will need to recharge. This is why deadlines can be so useful. They force you to focus on something. Focus because an effortless, and when you're working on a task that's intrinsically motivating, all the productivity advice in the world want to help if you can stand your job. Research on the value of breaks and finds two simple rules. 1. Take a break at least every 90 minutes. 2. Break it for roughly 50 minutes for each hour of work you do. Break for roughly 15 minutes. Take a break at least every 90 minutes. This may seem like a lot of time across an 8-hour workday. It's not. But it's approximately equivalent to taking a 1 hour lunch break and a 50 minutes break in the morning and afternoon in most situations. These two rules are practical and can be carried out without affecting your work schedule. Why is 90 minutes the magic number? Our mental energy tends to oscillate in 90 minutes waves. We sleep in 90 minutes cycles, moving between periods of light, deep, and the REM sleep. Our energy continues to follow the same rhythm after we wake. We feel rested for around 90 minutes and then tired for a short period of time. Around 20 to 30 minutes, a short break every 90 minutes or so takes advantage of these natural peaks and valleys in energy cycles. Take a break when you notice your focus is dipping or after finishing a big task. Doing so will you will experience less attention and residue as you allow your mind to wander. By taking strategic breaks, we are able to provide in general a greater mental energy for maximum productivity and replenish our energy when it would naturally dip. Research shows we are more creative during these low energy periods, as during them our brain is least inhabited, which allows more ideas and rise to surface. This makes low energy moments perfect for the schedule focus. Start paying attention to the ebb and flow of your energy levels in the morning and make concerted effort to step back when you feel your energy beginning to dip. Energy levels stabilize a bit more in afternoon and the dip in productivity, but it's worth sticking with a similar rhythm. And why should we have 15 minutes of break for each of the work? There isn't a lot of reliable research on this subject, but one company did try to crunch the numbers. The time tracking app called Desk Time which automatically tracks any computer programs you have open, so you can see the days and how productive you are. Access the break data for the most productive 10% of its users. They discovered that on average, these users took 17 minutes in a break after every 52 minutes of work. As was adapting your break schedule around your work habits. If you have a second tea or coffee in the morning, take it up to 90 minutes of work and give your mind a legitimate rest during that time. Instead of eating a rush lunch in front of your computer, take a real lunch break, one that will legitimately recharge you for the afternoon. Leave your phone at the office and enter scatter focus mode on a lunchtime run or while reading a good book, being sure to capture any thoughts and ideas you've been incubating. In the afternoon, grab a deep cup of coffee or take advantage of your company's nap room, meditation space, or gym. The best time to take a break is before you need to. Much as you're probably already dehydrated when you feel thirsty. Your focus and productivity have likely already begun to falter by the time you feel fatigue.